See, where do I? Balance changes. Okay, let's see. Public test 15.8. Wait, what patch are we on? We are on 15.7, so next patch. Oh yeah, okay, interesting. Interesting. We're applying balance changes to a number of ships based on an analysis of both their combat statistics and player feedback. Borodino turgutreis enigheten Gustavus to Thor, Constellation, Missouri, Rhode Island B. Okay, that's a bunch of ships with widely different power levels. Like, wildly different power levels. Like, putting Rhode Island in the same list is wild. I guess because they're raider ships. The following change affects all battleships equipped with surveillance radar consumable. Added a new parameter to the surveillance radar consumable. Preparation time at the beginning of the battle, 270 seconds. So what is that, 4.5 minutes? 4.5 minute cooldown on the first radar. Okay, so I understand some of the logic behind this. They want to limit blowouts because there's a lot of blowouts in the game right now, basically where one side gets instantly crushed, and that usually involves DDs and stuff sailing into radars and blowing up. So this is to make sure these ships can't instantly pop radar and blow up the destroyer or blow up some cruiser that's pushing in. I assume that's the idea, that you get to spot the battleship on the flank before it gets to radar you, so you get some sort of warning that he's there. Because obviously, we can't expect this player base to press tab, see that the enemy has radar ships, and then play safe until that radar ship is spotted on the minimap. We can't expect this player base to do that, because that would involve preparation, patience, intelligence, map awareness, like a lot of things that this player base completely lacks. So instead of having the players do that, they just put this artificial timer on surveillance radar, because basically the average players are just retards. So I understand where this is coming from. It's somewhat wild to see it though, because these radars are very, very different. Like Rhode Island is, well, for Rhode Island, I don't think Rhode Island really cares. Rhode Island didn't really push up in the start anyway. Rhode Island tended to kind of farm at the start, because you're kind of a big cruiser. But ships like Thor are pretty affected. Missouri has a shorter range radar. Wasn't Missouri radar like 9 kilometers or something? So, yeah, this is very like, and then Eniget and Gustav de Stora are both complete shit ships. So them getting nerfed is a bit sketchy. I see what their point is. It's kind of weird to just do blanket nerf though. But Rodino is now, is 9.5. Borodino has the 12 cam radar, so I think honestly, it's mostly probably for ranked for Borodino, because no one really plays Borodino in randoms these days, because, well, except for the radar, the ship is horrendous. 6 guns, Stalingrad hull, it blows up very, very easily. You can't really turn out. You're kind of stuck nose in, and yeah, the only gimmick really it had was the early radar to catch someone off guard. So, yeah, I don't know. I see why they do it. They want to lower the amount of blowouts, but honestly, if they want to lower the amount of blowouts, they should be nerfing a bunch of ships that are also causing this shit, like these insane DPM new destroyers, like 20 de Julio and that Fuyutsuki thing, because those things one-shot destroyers when they spot them. They press reload booster, the enemy DD instantly blows up, GG, game over. And then there's a bunch of other stealth radars, like shit like Svea and Småland, that should be getting similar things, and just CV spotting in general, but this is kind of, I don't know. I guess it's kind of a step in the right direction, because expecting the player base to improve is probably very unlikely. How about nerfing CVs so they can't spot for the first 270 seconds? Now see, that would be a good change. Making so that CVs can't spot at the start of the map. Because that's literally, every game starts with the CV sending their plane across the map and then flying across every DD like this, and everyone is spotted, everyone knows where everyone is, and any sense of surprise is gone, any sense of strategy is gone, because everyone knows where everyone is, because the CV flew over everyone. They should try implementing some of this to carriers. Now that would be smart. Thor. Detectability range by sea increased 15.1 to 15.6. Okay. So it's 12.6 now. Okay, let me preface this by saying I don't think BBs should be nearly as stealthy as cruisers to begin with. And I think radars on BBs are a bad design. So, I do agree that Thor getting nerfed is a good idea, but my question is like, what about all the other BBs? Because like Thor isn't really that popular, and I don't think Thor has really that high of a win rate. Now I might be wrong, but I think it's pretty even popular as a battleship. Like, are you pretty rarely? Let's see. Let's look at last patch, Europe. That's the biggest server. Tier 10 battleships. Battles. 4. 8th most. It's the newest battleship line in the game. The most recent line added. And so you'd expect during the last update it to be quite heavily played. But it's 8th. It's losing to a lot of other ships. And this is like the new hot thing, the great new thing. And win rate wise, it has, well, 51.1, which puts it 15th. 15th in terms of battleship win rate. Below shit like Libertad. And of course, Montpelier, their newest thing. All the Aki, the hybrid shit, Sibir, and so forth. So, again, I agree with concealment nerfs to battleships, but it should be more universal. I don't know why they targeted the Thor. It's barely above average in win rate, and it's considering it's a new tech tree line, it's not very popular at all. Like, it's pretty rare to actually see it. Yeah, the survival rate is pretty brutal compared to anything except Incomp, really. Yeah, it's lower except Incomp and Sibir, which are two ships that kind of tend to go ham as well. Yeah, I don't really know. It bit of a strange specific nerf, if you ask me. Bit of a strange specific nerf. Katsonis. Katsonis is actually insane these days. They buffed Katsonis last balance change or whatever, and they give it a bunch of reload and shit. So Katsonis is actually a fucking monster. It's really good. I played it in ranked after they buffed it, and it's incredibly strong. So, but this, wait, what is this? Is this a buff though? Wait, what is Katsonis torps right now? Torpedoes, 9 game torps, 10.7, 8. Wait, it's a buff? They're buffing it again? The damage goes up, the range goes up, the speed goes up. Reload 106. Okay, you lose reload. You lose reload, but the torps become significantly strong. I guess it's a DPM nerf, but just more effective torps, especially against Hydra and shit. They're faster and hit harder, but the reload is longer. Interesting. Kind of a side grade. Not sure what the point is. Cleveland. Okay, to be fair, his nerf was deserved. Cleveland is nuts. Cleveland is really fucking good right now. I've been playing it a lot. It's very hard to justify many of the other tier 8 cruisers because this thing exists. I'm a bit surprised they're not interested in doing anything about shit like Mines, though, because Mines is also kind of nuts. And also, what about Baltimore? Baltimore, maybe it's later here. But it's a nerf. It's a very slight nerf. But hey, it's a nerf. It's a very slight nerf. I assume Cleveland is doing pretty well if you look at the numbers. Let's see, battles. Yeah, Cleveland Defo has... Okay, we're nowhere in... Well, these are so few player numbers. These don't really count, there's so few. I mean, it's... Again, compared to the other numbers, it's not that insane. But I do agree that Cleveland is super strong right now. It's super strong. Like, if you look at ship parameters, the main battery DPM on Cleveland now is like, it's so good. It does the highest damage. It's got almost stealth radar, 360-degree turrets, really good AA, even though they nerfed the AA with the defensive AA improvement. And but it's like, it's a monster of a ship. So I do agree that this thing needed toning down. I don't think it's gonna change much though. It's just gonna, like this, it's gonna change the DPM to this, the Montpelier DPM. So the difference between this one and Montpelier will be Montpelier has better dispersion, but Cleveland has 360-degree turrets. Very small side grades. But like, I mean, it's still gonna be insanely good. It's still gonna be an insanely good ship. I don't think it's gonna change that much. It's still gonna be a great ship. It's still gonna be like one of the best tier 8 cruisers. It's not gonna change that much. Anchorage buff? That's probably good. Anchorage is kind of awkward. Isn't that the ship where you kind of sit in smoke with a heavy cruiser? Isn't that the thing? Yeah, it's the smoke heavy cruiser thing with no real DPM. It's kind of weird. I don't think it's that great. And it's New Orleans guns as well. It's not Baltimore guns. It's kind of like I think the DPM is Anchorage. Yeah, look at the DPM. It's not great. It goes up a bit now. It goes up, it becomes a bit more useful, but Anchorage General, I think it could absolutely use the buff. It's not a very fun ship to play either, it's pretty boring. Constellation. AP shell parameters changed. They now correspond to those that have been found in North Carolina. That's a strange change. Maximum damage increased. Ballistic parameters, shell arcs are now flowed through armor penetration 5 to 10% depending on distance. Is it really that much? I don't think the difference might be this much. Maybe it's about this much, but like muzzle velocity. I don't think I like this. Thank you, turn-based days. Constellation's issue is it's very squishy, and it's a radar battleship. So like one of the better parts with the fast shell velocity is if you radar cruisers and destroyers, you can clap them. But now you have slower shells, so you're gonna struggle against that. It makes you very slightly maybe better against battleships that are potentially against battleships, but like the difference is pretty small, I think. I think the battleship difference is pretty small in like the penetration. Let's see, what's a realistic range? 15 kilometers? So we have North Carolina, 504 millimeters pen. Constellation 473. So 30 millimeters of difference at 15. Yeah, that's what, 7% maybe difference? Yeah, I mean, it's something, sure. I'm not sure it's... I'm not really sure if that kind of sounds like maybe a downgrade. Because floaty shells is not great. Like flight time 9.3 seconds. Constellation 8.7. Yeah, I mean, okay, well, we should look at the radar distance though. That's more realistic, I guess. How much of a change does it really make? Constellation 5.4, North Carolina 5.8, 0.4 seconds. I don't know. Just I don't know, kind of a strange change. Kind of a strange change, really. I don't perhaps really understand it. It's kind of a side grade, but it doesn't make a lot of sense. I don't understand what the goal here was. I don't understand what the goal there was. Make it better against BBs at the cost of being worse against cruisers and DDs. Like, Constellation issue is The turret setup is like it's the turret setup is wonky and the armor is shit. $152, 38. Yeah, like your citadel protection is dog shit. The citadel protection is pretty fucking dog shit, so you never really want to play it like a normal BB either, so making it better against BBs while worse against everything else when you don't really want to fight BBs, because it's a big, massive, clunky thing that eats a lot of shit. It's... Yeah, I don't really know. I mean, it's pretty fast. It is a fast ship. It's a fast BB for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Seems strange. Oh shit! Missouri buff. Holy fuck, long have we waited. Missouri, the original moneymaker, that they nerfed the fuck out of the credit. Like, you know, Wargaming regretted making Missouri as profitable as it was. Like, they spent so many patches and massive revamps just to take down Missouri's credits earnings because they regretted how good they made it. Because Missouri earned way more money than Wargaming. Like that, it showed Wargaming's planning was shit. They were like, let's make this insane moneymaker so we can make a lot of money now. And then after like one patch, they were like, oh fuck, we just screwed over the economy. Because everyone can now earn as much money as they want with the Missouri. And then they went out of their way to nerf the fuck out of the credit earnings afterwards. But, I mean, this is a nice buff. It's about time Missouri got a buff. I don't mind it at all. Missouri is a very cool ship, and you don't see really much of it. Seattle, turret reverse buff. I mean, could be a... I would prefer a firing angle buff on the Seattle. Turret reverse is great, but Seattle's major issue is that the firing angles are complete dog shit, and it's literally one of the reasons why you prefer to play Cleveland instead of Seattle, because Seattle has to sit like flat broadside to use the guns, whereas Cleveland can sit like this. And it just makes Seattle so clunky and unwieldy and just... Yeah, no, Seattle is... That's not going to change much. Seattle is still going to be horrendous to play, especially compared to Cleveland. Hawaii finally gets a nerf. Not really that surprising. Hawaii is like super strong and kind of idiot-proof cruiser, because it's so hard to citadel and close range it can actually shit on battleships with DPM and so forth. So I'm not really surprised they nerfed it. I hope this also means they're nerfing some battleships though. Because like, if the strongest cruiser gets a nerf, surely that means the strongest BBs also get nerfs? Surely. Dresden Colbert, okay, so the entire German tech tree line. Percent of non-citadel damage can be restored, increased from 50. Wow, that's a zero impact fucking buff. Holy shit. That's, I mean, wow. If they've improved pin damage, that would be big. Like, if they made it so you can heal more pin damage, that would be big. But the issue with shit like Hinden and Clausewitz and so forth is not the random sits, because generally if you sit angled, you don't get sit that much, because the hull is pretty okay against that. The problem is the 30mm plating on the Hindenburg is so outdated nowadays that BBs clicking you get massive chunks on you, and you're not really fast or agile enough to dodge shells these days. So the issue is you take damage and then you really can't heal back that much of the damage. So if this was included with a, you can restore more like pin damage, then it would have been interesting. But just the citadel damage buff, it's like, okay, if you fuck up and get broadside, you can now recover more of it, but it's not great. Wait, that is the pen damage. Shit, I'm retarded. I cannot read. Well, this is actually pretty good then. Oh. I can't read. I'm sorry. I am a blind, retarded man. I apologize. I admit it. I am demented. Then it's actually pretty good. I like it. But I don't know if this is enough though. It's better. I don't know if it's enough though. Because the issue with Hinden is after 2 heals, you're already healing like below your maximum. Maybe now you get more value out of the third heal, but then you end up in the same situation. It's still better. I don't know if it's enough, it's still better. I don't think it's going to change anything for the lower tier ships, though. Like, Ruin just blows up regardless of angling, because the armor is outdated. Hipper might benefit a bit. Nuremberg, Königsberg, York, they can't really survive being clicked without blowing up. So I guess the biggest buff benefits here are for Hipper and Hinden. And Clausewitz. The new stack with the new Hinden leg mod. Wait, what did they change on the Hinden leg mod? Flamu just want to check if we're paying attention. True. That was it. Oh, repair party consumable action time. It was useless before because you couldn't benefit from it, but maybe you might benefit from it now? I don't know if it's gonna be enough. Maybe? Maybe. It's still questionable. Yeah, I mean, the fire extinguishing time is kind of like not that important, especially if you're healing more, because you heal 100% of fire damage, so fire damage never really much of an issue for the Hindenburg to begin with. It's like, would I still take it over steering gears if I'm playing Lighthouse? Bit questionable. Because, like, if I go Lighthouse, I go steering gears. Would this replace this for Lighthouse? With the change? We could try, but I have my doubts. I have my doubts, really. We'll have to try it once it comes out. Trading Conceal is still Pepega? No, Hindenburg is kinda... Like, Hindenburg doesn't really do much with Conceal these days. So Lighthouse Hinden is perfectly fine. The problem is Lighthouse Clausewitz is just better, because Lighthouse Clausewitz, you get the benefit of the god tier armor that you don't have in the Hindenburg. Because Hindenburg's biggest issue really is this. This used to make it Battleship Hindenburg back in the day. These days, it doesn't do much. It doesn't really do much. So there's like not a whole lot of point to it. Where's Clausewitz? Do I even have it here? Where the fuck is my Clausewitz? Huh? I can just show you the difference why people play Clausewitz. Like, people play Clausewitz instead. This here makes a world of difference when you're sitting in the back and playing Lighthouse. Makes a world of difference. Okay, but like, it's pretty nice then. Like, it's a buff. I'm not sure it's gonna really change that much, but it's a buff to a line that absolutely did need a buff, so I guess we take it. We take it. Montpelier? Nerf. Interesting. I guess the secondary DPM was becoming an issue. I do see a lot of Monteuffels, to be fair. It's pretty popular, so might have been overperforming. Like, I've seen Manteuffel in tier 10 matchmaking a fair bit. Yeah, holy shit. Yeah, the most popular tier 9 cruiser right now. And also with 52% win rate. Yeah, the battles are lying to us right now. I guess the issue is that it's got a good win rate while being super popular, so hence the nerf. But that also makes me question the Thor nerf, because Thor was neither popular nor performing that well, but I don't really understand. Z-44 buff. That's good. Z-44 is dog shit. I used to see this thing in... I don't remember what ranked season it was, but there was a ranked season that came out, and Z-44 had been released fairly recently, and for some reason, every dumb animal in ranked was playing the Z-44, which does nothing. Like, it's a shitty torpedo boat with no guns. It's the only, I think, German DD that didn't have hydro either. Like, it's so shit. So actually getting a buff is fine. It's perfectly fine. Like, this ship is dog shit. So Z-44 buff, I'm 100% behind. That's fine. That ship needed help. The fact that people voluntarily bring this thing to ranked is insanely confusing when considering all the other ships you can bring. Yeah, I think the only thing I got... Yeah, the guns were not impressive. The only thing I had going was the torps. But it wasn't like even a good torp. So now you get, what, 5-7 conceal? That's pretty good. That's a big difference. Well, not a... It's a pretty big difference. Hawkins, Devonshire, Surrey, Albemarle. HE shell penetration has been increased to 25% of the caliber. Okay. I don't think they're very playable regardless. Like, this shit is coming so late. And I don't think really the issue with these ships was in either. The issue is that they don't really do any damage. Why is it like Goliath and Drake not here? Or did they already do this too? Because, like, you could buff Goliath DPM by, like, 15-20%, and it would still be a bad ship. You have the pen already? Okay. So it's just consistency thing. But, I mean, Goliath is dog shit. And Goliath was, like, relevant briefly because of the tankiness when it was playing alone on the flank. It could kite and farm and survive a long time. But, like, that armor scheme is so shit these days, and the DPM is so shit these days. Yeah, no, I mean this is nice for consistency, but nowhere near enough. It's not gonna make people suddenly play these ships. Barflora. Wait, what? You're nerfing it? Really? Is Barfleur an overperforming tier 9 destroyer? Where is Barfleur? 34th most popular or 6th least popular destroyer in the game last patch with a 52% win rate. And they were like, we need to step in. These 261 people that played it on EU need to get nerfed. Huh? I don't understand, bro. No one fucking plays this thing. That's... wow. I basically never see this thing. Some of these, like, changes are very confusing. Like, Jäger has 74,000 battles in the same patch as Barfleur has 782. So that is not 10%, that is 1% of the battles. I'm sure that means Jäger is getting nerfed as well, right? Surely? Surely Jäger is getting a nerfed as well if the ship that has 1% of the battles is getting a fucking nerf. Kind of wild that they buffed Katsonis, by the way. Where's Katsonis? Wait, people are... How? How do people have a 48% win rate in Katsonis? What the fuck? That thing is so nuts now. I don't understand. Bro, look at where they put Katsonis DPM. And it has a radar. And really good ballistics. I don't understand. Look at the flight time. Look at Friesland flight time, 7.3. Look at Katsonis, 5.7. It's fucking railguns on a radar ship. With this DPM. I don't understand what people, I do not understand what people are doing in this game. Okay. Deutlich the hardy eventually or Cassard. AP shell fuse standardized. 0.01 seconds. So, wait, what is the fuse threshold? Does it mean it shits on DDs consistently now? Where's Cassard? Threshold is 21. Oh, AP will fuse consistently on DDs now. Interesting. It's definitely going to be more AP focused, right? What's the DP? 1.9 HE, 2450 AP. Yeah, that's 30% increase in damage from running AP instead of HE. And now it fuses on DDs. Definitely we're fusing it now. Definitely we're fusing it now. Cassard nerf. Like, Cassard is okay in randoms. I think it's fine, but is it nerf worthy? Like, is it very popular? I feel like Cassard is a pretty rare destroyer to see. Maybe I'm wrong? 17th most popular. To be fair, the win rate is pretty high, 54.4. So the few people that are playing it are getting a really good win rate out of it. I'm still waiting for the small one nerf though. If they're nerfing radar ships and they're nerfing high win rate ships, surely Wargaming would nerf their #1 cash cow right before Christmas boxes. Right, chat? Surely. Be-back! Finally! What are they doing? Reload 11 to 9.7, turret reverse reduced. Okay, see, this fucking nerf is what they gave the P-bag. I've told this story before, but the reason I fucking hate the P-bag is they gave us, when I was still a CC, they gave us a test version to review. And it used to have the 22.5 turret reverse, and it used to have better conceal. And I made a vid on it. I was like, this ship is really fucking good. They nerfed it the night before, like the day before the fucking release day. They nerfed it, and they nerfed the turret reverse, and they nerfed the conceal. And suddenly the ship that was released was so much clunkier and worse to play than the one that they gave us to us testers. But this thing finally, they can't nerf it. It's premium before the legal changes. God bless. Smaller always gonna remain broken. But I wish they would have given the conceal buff back, because I think P-bag really needs it. Because like one of the things that made P-bag stand out back in the day was that it also had the heal. But everyone has a heal now. So this is like this is nice. It makes it more playable, but they should have given the conceal back. Because P-bag doesn't have radar. It's fine that it's a stealthier cruiser because it doesn't come with radar, it doesn't come with smoke, it doesn't really come with torps, and the firing angles are really bad. So having it get that concealment back so you can play that stealthy AP destroyer game, AP cruiser gameplay, that's fine. But it's a step in the right direction, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Sevastopol. AP buff. Whoa! Holy shit! Well, that's a big fucking threshold. Upper belt and deck armor. 35 millimeters. So no more BB monkeys clicking you for much. They actually have to aim at your nose. And honestly, the average BB player is so bad at aiming at the nose. It's fucking crazy how often you can get BB players to just click your belt. But they do it all the time. And if they don't match, they do like 0 damage. So this is actually a pretty fucking massive buff against the potatoes. Also, 30mm is like kind of a standard HE pin threshold, as is 32 and 34. So getting your armor to 35 is actually pretty big when it comes to shattering the HE. Sevastopol's biggest issue is still the limited DCP thing, though, which is just a really bad design on a cruiser. Especially a cruiser that's supposed to sustain for a long time with heals. Having limited DCPs is pretty shit, but this will definitely make the ship a lot better. Like, the issue, yeah, is it doesn't have DPM and it has limited DCP. But now at least, yeah, most heavy cruisers are penning 34. Yeah, this thing buffs it past both those thresholds, so it's really important. So this is gonna give it a lot more survivability for sure. The issue is, of course, that Sevastopol still doesn't do a whole lot of damage. It's kind of shit when it comes to dealing damage. But big buff regardless, really big buff. Then Young. Main battery reload time reduced 4. That's some really big buff. 10% DPM. That's pretty massive. Wait, Finn Young has pretty good stats already, doesn't, like DPM wise, doesn't it? No one plays it though. Actually, where's Finn Young? Let me see. Finn Young, yeah, 1,400 battles. Yeah, it's okay. It's one of the least popular ships, and the win rate is a disaster. The thing with Finn Young though is, it's actually a pretty okay ship. It just requires a lot of gimmicks. Basically, you have to spec IFHE on it, because otherwise your HE doesn't pin other destroyers. So you need a specific captain. But the AP does have improved pen angles on it. So it's like very specific. So for the average player, they're never really gonna perform well in it. But the DPM values are actually pretty nice on it. Let's see, AP DPM. Finn Young here, 223k, and HE DPM is also up here. And now you get like 10% on top. So like it's gonna be pretty good. You use AP on DDs, yeah. That's the gimmick with Finn Young is, I can show you the AP on Finn Young. The gimmick with it is threshold 17 and fuse timer 0.1, and you have improved pen angles. So you're basically an Akizuki that runs around shooting AP. That's really what you want to do. Let's see, Finn Young. Where is Finn Young? You're an Aki that runs around shooting AP instead of HE. So getting that DPM buff is pretty big. It also has reload, a torpedo reload booster. That's actually pretty interesting. Yeah, this commander is wrong, you need to spec IFHE. Because otherwise your HE pen is only 17, and you can't pen DDs. Yeah, but it's deep waters with reload booster, it's only 1x4 though, so questionable. Still, it's a good change, I think. It's a good change getting a buffer, because no one really plays it, and it's very gimmicky. I think they should have given it better HE pen, though, so you don't have to run IFHE. Because a DD that has to run IFHE to pen other DDs is kind of questionable. The fire chance is nice, yeah, but you can't, you won't have that fire chance because you have to run IFHE. Otherwise, if a DD angles against you, you do 0 damage because you have no HE. Interesting. Like, some things I agree with, but some things are a bit strange. I'm surprised Thor already getting a nerf. This change is fine. I just wish they would nerf other forms of early spotting, like CVs in particular. CV just being able to spot the entire map and spot all the DDs at the start of the game. Like, how is that not an issue? But this is. I don't understand the logic. Because at least like the radar, well, I dislike radar and BBs. At least if you want to radar a DD early on in a battleship, you need to push in the battleship. And I like that. BBs that play aggressive, I like that. That's something that should be encouraged. But this kind of encourages to sit back. because you can't radar them anyway. This encourages to sit back for that to pop up. So why aren't you nerfing plane spotting? That's a huge issue to people getting killed, is the plane spotting. This is a good change as well. Like, there's some good stuff here. There's some really weird shit like this here. Our floor nerf is like, what the fuck? This is a this doesn't do anything. B-bag buff is nice, this is nice, this is nice. Like, there's a fair few nice buffs here, I'll give you that. Also, Missouri buff is nice, we're gonna play that for sure. Pretty okay balance change, honestly. Pretty okay balance change.